Welcome to Still Speak Podcast. Hello, everybody. It has been a while, and I know that many of you were wondering where I've been. We're going to get into that. First, I want to apologize because I said that I would post a video, I believe 2 weeks ago. I never got around to it. Then 2 nights ago, I said that I would definitely do this video, but I'm now doing it late. So my apologies for leaving you hanging. So let's backtrack here for a moment to August of 2021 when I decided to start this channel. I originally was going to do a podcast on Podbean and, all the other different types of podcasting platforms. But then I decided, I'm just going to go and do it on YouTube, even though I was really resistant to doing it on YouTube for years. Every time I thought about doing a true crime channel, I just couldn't bring myself to bring it to YouTube because I have seen the insane amount of drama and doxing and threats and just the pure insanity involved with creating a channel. But then I thought, well, it's free, everybody's on there, it's easy, right? So I kind of went against my gut and just made the channel, and I started it. And at that time, I was homeschooling my children because I've been homeschooling them since the pandemic started, which was in March of 2020. And no, it's not because we are afraid of getting COVID. We've had COVID. It was just once they came home, we ultimately decided just to continue homeschooling. So with 3 kids, obviously that takes a lot of time, right? And my kids come first and foremost. But at the time that I started the channel, we hadn't started the school year yet. So I came out the gate just banging out videos after video after video. And Murdaugh case picked up, and Gabby Petito's case. And then we got into all these other stories and cases and missing people. I think I have like 180 something videos that I did in a very short period of time. I was doing a lot of them. And even when we started to homeschool for the year, I still had a lot of time in the evening once the kids were in their rooms to come out to the garage and do what I enjoyed doing. Well, around late October, a family member came to me about helping or assisting in a company that they were starting with somebody else. And when it was presented to me, it was more so kind of like, a little of this, a little of that, but it won't take up much of your time. But if you've ever worked for a company that is just beginning, or you helped start a company or your own company, you know that at the beginning there is a lot of work that needs to be put into it. And the little amount of things that I thought that I was going to be doing ended up turning into a lot of things. So many things that I even designed the website, which is something I have never done and had to teach myself, and the brochure, and the client databases, and the marketing, etc. So my task tripled, if not quadrupled, in the short amount of time since October. And it's okay. I'm not complaining at all. I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing. I just wasn't expecting that, basically. I thought it was just going to be like a little side thing, answer a phone call, throw out an email, and that's it. I didn't know that I was going to be designing a website. That just kind of happened during a discussion to save money. So now, obviously, and if you've listened to my other videos, my kids come first. My house comes first, my kids come first, right? That's the most important thing. I can't just come out here and throw videos together, not feed anybody or take care of my house. They have to come first. And then obviously their education is a close second, right? If not on the same level. And I can't neglect that. And now with this job, obviously this is something that pays. And while I could down the road make some type of money off of YouTube, that's going to take quite a bit of time, right? And I made a commitment and I agreed to be in the business to help out. And in the long run, it's going to help out my family too, right? And so now that's also a priority for me. And therefore, that leaves the channel, right? Which would be my last priority. It's a hobby. It's a side thing. And while I greatly appreciate my subscribers, I love doing this and making the videos, I have to be realistic, right? And I have to say, okay, there's only so much one person can do, okay? I like to joke around and say I'm like the jack of all trades, that I'm this multitasking person. And I am. I really am. I can do all sorts of things, and if I can't do it, I try to figure out how to do it. But, you know, I am in my late 30s, and, you know, the next day when I wake up, I feel like somebody beat the shit out of me. I'm just being honest. So I have to be real with myself and say, maybe you're doing too much, okay? And so between the job and the homeschooling and my house and my husband and food shopping and appointments and the channel, it's like, all right, you can't do all of this. I mean, just come on, face reality. So ultimately, I just didn't have the time to come on here anymore. I didn't even have the time to come on here and say that I'm busy and I can't do a video right now. Usually when the kids go to bed, I'm working on whatever I'm working on, and then I crash. I don't even have that 10 minutes to do that. Tonight I actually made room for me to do this. So, in addition to that, there are some things that I've expressed on this channel that happens in YouTube land, and particularly in the true crime community, that really, really does not settle well with me and makes me really uncomfortable. And I even made a comment in my last video that I don't even know if I'm really cut out for this, because I'm not willing to, break boundaries to get views and attention and clicks and likes, etc. And I've been seeing a lot of things on YouTube I really don't like. There's a lot. The drama between channels, the infighting, the doxing, the threatening, the calling CPS, calling jobs, calling one another out, airing, personal messages, looking up criminal records, etc., etc., etc. Now, if you figure out who I am and you look me up, you ain't gonna find anything. I'm just gonna be real with you. Okay? Nothing. There's nothing. I've never been arrested. I have no criminal record. I have nothing. So it's not like I'm hiding anything. But I don't like it. I don't like the cutthroat that you basically have to be baptized by doxing to become a real channel. It's just really gross to me. And I don't need some fool on the internet thinking they know anything about my personal life and, not liking an opinion of mine and trying to find out who I am to call CPS on me just because they don't like my opinion. Again, I have nothing to hide when it comes to my children, so I'm not concerned in any, way, shape, or form if some fool on the internet would do something like that. Because, CPS would walk in here and know that my kids are more than taken care of and loved. And so it's not that I'm even worried about that, right? I don't care. Let them come here. I have nothing to hide when it comes to that. But who wants to deal with that? These are my children, right? And so, again, priorities. And I have to think to myself, like, is this all really worth it? Like, even if I did this a couple nights a week, like 2 nights a week, do I really want to be in this rat race? Do I really want to, have people out there who may stumble across me, not like me for whatever reason, and try to destroy me and go real life on me? I mean, I really had to think about that, because I think that oftentimes channel creators just get so caught up in the likes and the subs and the money that all of the doxing and drama, they get sucked into it and it's all worth it to them, but it's not for me. And I don't like what goes on in the true crime community as far as how cases are being handled. And for one example would be the Summer Wells case. And if you see my last video, you will understand that I'm just so disgusted by what people have done to that case and many other cases, but that one specifically. And so, I had to do a lot of thinking about all of it. And I'm not saying that I'm leaving YouTube. I haven't made that decision yet. I actually haven't made any decision because I do miss doing this and I do love doing this. What I'm saying is that these are the things that have been happening in my absence. One, the job, for sure, taken a lot of my time. But, also during that time has given me an opportunity to think about the channel, think about if I want to do this, etc. So basically where I'm at right now is this is a brand new company. I am swamped as far as that's concerned. I'm going around finding, clients and building databases to email hundreds, if not thousands of people in campaign marketing, etc. And so that's really time consuming, and it won't always be that way, it's just because it's just starting. Once we get rolling, my task will dwindle. I know that for sure. And so what my ultimate decision right now is I am going to be absent a little bit longer. And I am going to, about 2 to 3 weeks from now, reevaluate and see where we are at in our progress with this company, and see if the tasks, start to kind of dwindle down, because I got a lot of it done. And at that time, I'm going to actually make a decision on whether I'm going to stay on YouTube and do 1 to 2 videos a week, or if I'm just going to switch to what I originally was going to do, which was to do a podcast, and we just do 1 episode a week. Some stories will be 5 episodes, some will be 2, some will be 10, etc. So basically, in a nutshell, I appreciate those of you who stayed subscribed to me. I appreciate the people who messaged me asking where I was. I felt very loved. I appreciate that very, very much. I understand that, you want content and you sub to me for that reason. So if you hear this video and you're like, well, she's not going to be around for another 2-3 weeks, I'm out, I completely understand. I hope you do stay and bear with me right now, but I understand totally, 100%, okay? And for those of you who decide to stay, just like I said, bear with me. I promise it's not going to be this crazy for me long term, and I do plan on getting on an actual schedule because, I do enjoy the job and I do enjoy homeschooling my kids, but I am also a human being and I need to do things that make me feel like me and allot me time to do things that I enjoy. And here's another aspect of this. I'm a deep diver. I like to look at every angle of a case. I like to find every possible fact that exists. I like to, dive into everybody who's involved. And I'm not a surface story type of person. I'm not going to come out here and just give the basic story. I want it all. And I felt like when I was banging out these stories, I was just trying to get as many stories out as possible. And I wasn't spending time on all of them. Now, Murda, yes. Heidi Plank, yes. Gabby Petito, yes. Summer Wells, yes. But then all the little stories in between those, I felt like I was kind of just pushing them out and not staying true to who I am as far as deep diving into them. Because deep diving takes a lot of time, right? That takes a lot of time. I can come out, I can press record and just start, yakking about a case. But it's not going to make a whole lot of sense. It's not going to have structure. It's not going to be interesting. And so I'd like to have my ducks in a row. And that takes time. And unfortunately, time's not on our side. It's not enough time in a day. So it is what it is, right? So you got to make do with the time that you have and be as productive in the areas of importance as possible. And most of my time currently just needs to go to my children and to my job. So if you stick around, we are going to slow down once I do start doing this again and do less cases. And that, it does suck because it's less people's voices that we could put out there who need help. But I really want to, give these stories the credit that it's due and really get into them and give you all of the facts and details as much as I possibly can find. So once I do return, we're going to have a little bit of a different format. It will only be 1 or 2 nights a week, and it will be much more in depth about one particular case at a time, or 2 at a time. It's not going to be like it was prior to this job taking on more of my time. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually going to be getting off here in just a minute. And I am actually going to be planning out a schedule for myself so that, I'm not working too much when I could be doing this or that, etc. And making sure that I leave time for myself. The job is a, kind of work at my own pace when I can type of thing. But, sometimes you can get sucked into the job and it's taking on more time than it should be. And so I'm setting a little schedule for myself. So I'll have a better understanding in about 2 to 3 weeks of where I stand, how much time I have, and what I can do. And at that time, I will also decide if I'm going to just stick on here and lay low and do the 1 video a week, or if I'm going to move to a podcast platform. And I understand that if I do that, I may lose like 75% of you. And I don't want to do that because I really enjoyed many of your comments and interactions on my channel. And I'd hate to lose you by moving to another platform. And I'm going to repeat myself. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sticking around and being patient with me. I hope that this explained it a little bit better for you. I was actually thinking to myself, these people are going to think I had like COVID or something because I've been gone for weeks. It's not anything like that. We're all healthy and okay. It's just time. That's what it boils down to, is time. And I'm so sorry to just kind of ghost ghost you all and vanish with no word or explanation. And it's actually been killing me that I haven't had an opportunity to come on here to even record this 20-minute video for you. I've thought about my subs every single day that I've been gone. And I've felt terrible that I kind of just left you guys, high and dry. So I'm glad that I was able to explain, to give a little backstory, and touch base with you all. I hope you are all doing great. Happy Valentine's Day. I can't even believe it's Valentine's Day already. It was just Christmas. What the hell happened? I actually will be celebrating a birthday in about 2.5 weeks. So by the time I come back here again, my birthday would have passed. I used to get excited about birthdays. Not anymore. Not anymore. But yes, I celebrate a birthday in 2.5 weeks, and it's just crazy. It was just Christmas. I was on here telling you guys about I didn't have a place to hide presents, and now we're already in the middle of February. It's just wild. If you are a new sub that you subscribed to me right before I vanished, and you like my content, that's why you sub to me, consider going back, because I have a lot of videos you can listen to, a lot, in my absence for the next few weeks. That should definitely help you out. There's a lot of them. And I actually do have updates on several of the cases that we were following frequently, like the Murdaugh case. There's been more updates in the Petito case. There's been nothing in the Heidi Plank case. And there's been a few updates in a couple other of the stories. So, I don't want to promise, I may this weekend just do one video with updates on each of those cases, and then you won't hear from me for 2 to 3 weeks, because I don't want to wait 2 to 3 weeks to give you updates on current things that have happened, because then they're going to be really late to you, okay? And I want to talk about some of them, like crazy Alex Murdaugh and his updates. So again, I don't want to promise it, but I'm going to try to shoot to do those updates this weekend. And there's my AC. So that's my cue. Actually, that's not my AC. That's my heat, because where I'm at doesn't have, all 4 seasons, except for like 2 months out of the year that we get a winter, and it is freezing here. So my heat's on. So anyway, that's my cue. Bear with me, guys. I hope you guys are all well. Stay safe, and I will see you soon. Until next time.